Ladies and gentlemen,
My shirt's on too.
this is the 9th year of the Game Time Draft. 9 straight live drafts. As is tradition, 3-time champion and new commissioner.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa!
Officially impeached.
There's a coup. There are predictions of the draft. Starting with the number 10 team for the 2nd year in a row.
Here's
Dave-
the Chevy. Here's the Chevy.
Dave Hanford is number 10.
Wow.
That wide receiving core is a great wide receiving core for me to poop on.
I haven't heard that in years.
He wasted a ton of money on a bench. I mean, Amendola's going to start, but those guys all cost a lot of money. If he would just pulled that money and bought a decent wideout, he has really no good wideouts. That's atrocious. A huge question mark up there. A big setback coming there, and Spiller, to me, is the trap pick of the whole draft. I hate the entire roster.
Bubs an hour ago said, after realizing his whole team sucked, said, well, I guess I should have just bid on Spiller.
I still love Bubs' outfit. Like
Number
he's a
9.
waiter at
Throw a
Reno's.
10 up by Dave's name.
Number 9.
Hold on, don't worry too big about Let's not fuck up the entire draft board.
Number 9, and also hailing from New York, is Drew Laughlin. The Foster pick is a huge question mark, which is why he went for so little. But that is another putrid wide receiving core. Mike Wallace and Miles Austin could have gone for $3 and $4 if they were bid at different times. Sproles in a non-reception league is not a starter. None of them are starters or anywhere near starters. That even sucks. I mean, everyone likes Breeze, but that's a really, really bad team.
Bigger.
There's not a mouse.
Jesus, Bubbles.
Keeping the tradition alive, Head comes in at number 8. I think that's his average finish for the last 9 years of the draft. As long as you're only looking at Brian Head, his average is 8. If you bring in his brother, the average is 5.5. Wide receiving core is, I mean, good, but very expensive. That's where the whole budget went.
That's unbelievable. Wide receiver.
Good? Bubs?
It's very good. It's just the whole roster.
It's 3 number 1s.
They require people to get them the ball, and none of their quarterbacks are good. So that's a problem.
None of them are good.
DeMarco Murray is a big red flag in this draft. David Wilson, that's way overpaid, and the bench has no potential.
Bigger.
Pigs! Oh,
There we go.
Also missing the draft this year was Mark, who I thought got off to a killer start. Obviously, the Brady pick was a bit of a mercy pick because Mark's too nice a guy. Charles, when all those running backs were going as cheap as they were,
Just for the record, that means that fucking Biggs is in the playoffs, just so we all know.
when all those backs earlier were going for cheap, Charles went for a premium, and Mark paid a premium for Charles, who I think everyone liked, obviously, but he spent a lot to get him. Then he ends up with McFadden and Green Ellis as his other backs. Would either of you want to go into a playoff game with one of those two as a starting back? And the receiving core is 1 deep. So
that's wide receiver
that's a
in the
missed
league.
playoff team. Yeah, I mean, it's 1 deep. You have a great player and a great player. That's just not enough. Shit! Also sneaking into the playoffs this year, and it was a big underdog, would be Biggs. He's the last guy to squeak in as a wild card pick. The receiving core is only okay, but he didn't pay too much for him. Lacey, Ball, Miller, Bernard kind of got his like his chances to go 2 out of 4.
He's got the
Dude,
worst
he has the
team I've ever
worst
seen.
team. Exactly.
That's the worst draft
He has
team I've
2
ever
starting
seen.
why is
the
rookies.
team worse than
There
Diggs?
are not a lot of guys in there that you look at and say, I can count on him for this. But he took a lot of good bets. And I just think
Willie's point was those backs, how many career starts do they have?
Exactly.
Zero.
We're talking
Zero.
production.
people overpaid for last year's stats. If he goes 2 for 4 on those 4 backs, which I think he will, then he's got a pretty good
This team will be the worst in the league. And
Why is Gerard's team worse than Diggs?
Gronkowski's not going to play till week 7.
Gerard overpaid for known commodities.
But you know what?
Biggs took risks, and they
We're not
will
talking
pay
about
off.
pain. We're not talking about pain. We're talking about players who produce. So he has 2
You're
rookie running backs
Come on, this is the money play review. Come on.
There's a very big difference between projecting the
and a
future.
tight end who broke his arm and has been infected.
back surgery.
Hold on, hold on.
Back
All
surgery.
financial advisors will tell you past performance
Hold
is
on,
not
this is
indicative.
not up for discussion. You can make comments, but it's not up for discussion.
Oh, with me it is.
Just not yet.
The 5 seed is a little guy who doesn't know where any of them went to college. Doesn't know where half of them play currently.
Front row, right away.
It's not going to happen.
And would probably bat 48% if he had to guess the color of their skin.
I hope they're all black.
Concentrate on Marshawn Lynch.
But it's a killer backfield. It's an adequate receiving core. Stafford's a fine value where he got him. And you know, someone between Ivory, Hopkins, Franklin, I have no idea who Franklin and Woods are, but you know what's going to happen.
They're going to blow up.
So, every year, one of these douchebags blows up, and we all laugh, and we all ask Hart, where he went to school. I don't even know. Going into the draft, I had never heard of Franklin or Woods.
Personally, I love it when Tim
It's
has
gonna
a
happen.
shitty first week and then he gets all of the bullshit trade requests because he thinks it's
But his entire starting lineup is actually good.
But before the draft,
Winningest owner of all
you've heard of Isaiah P.
Winningest order of all time.
No, I know. But
No, Bubs
when you have
is
a bad
not.
week and everybody just loads you up with just trying
still
to
decide.
get your best players.
Big number, big number.
Tim, Bubs is the winningest owner of all time.
Yeah, Bubs took that over.
We got you by a win.
Regular
Really?
season.
4, huh?
Willie and I had the unfortunate coincidence of liking a lot of the same dudes. So his tragic
we're heading to a Bubs down parade.
his tragic flaw was he actually had to overpay for a lot of dudes I really like. Newton, Jones Drew, Richardson, all really good, but he had to pay a little bit. Is there anyone on there that makes you jealous that you got? No. Sorry, buddy. I'm not jealous. I liked him, but not at those numbers. Jeez. McCoy 43. Wow.
This is your commentary on the number 4 seed?
Those are I like them all, but there's no star power. And that'll get you.
For the number 4 seed.
Last year
Bubs is top 2!
Last year, Scott G had the best team in fantasy. He outplayed everyone in his path.
Wait a minute, I won the points title and the championship.
That's an asterisk. Oh.
Oh, sorry.
It's an asterisk. It's a paper championship. Definitely, the line of the night was Scott getting Rodgers and saying, well, there goes my whole strategy. He bounced back. He bounced back and put together a good starting lineup. There's not a ton going on out there. He kind of has to go 1 for 3 out of Short, Smith, and Garcon. But there's plenty there to go a long way. I mean, that's obviously a playoff team. I just don't see it being a championship team. Number 2.
Sorry, Scotty.
That was the worst time
Wow.
teaching.
Number 2, Bubs.
Oh my God.
If he had to do it all over again, he probably would have just spent another $50 on a third running back because they were going cheap then and they went really pricey later. But there's really no flaws to the entire team. And that bench,
Still play 6 games.
that bench has so much potential. There's gonna be
Ingram blows.
there's gonna be some superstar power coming down
Brown
there.
Blackman will play 5 games.
Where
It's
did
a full
Isaiah
lineup.
P, for Hart's sake, go to
What?
college?
What color is Kaepernick?
Isaiah P, where do you go to college?
What color is Kaepernick, Buds?
No, it's Kaepernick.
His parents are white.
Kaepernick's stats will be
His legal guardianship is white. I don't know where Isaiah P went to college.
I would honestly, between all of us, say your team is the worst.
Every year my team looks the worst because I'm prepared. I show up prepared to draft them all.
Look at your
and I
wide
go for whoever's
receivers
going cheap.
compared to everybody else here. Your quarterback compared to everybody else. Your running backs compared to everybody else.
Number one.
Ish.
With Romosexual?
This is the first. This is the first out of us.
Definitely loved Romo as a steal up there. Love both of those guys to be close to 2,000 yards in total yards.
Forte with $42.
Love both of those wide receivers to have each season. Between
You don't
that's,
pay for the pass.
that's
Bobs.
4,000 yards total. That's 3,000 yards total.
You don't pay
And they
for the
will
pass,
average, between the four of them, they will average 10 touchdowns apiece. Bradshaw's a great third back. Great spine. Yeah, I mean, this is all fine. These guys have some potential. He kind of drafted old a little bit. We all kind of like Jeffrey, but it's probably the most solid roster on there. There's not a flaw in it. So that's my champion. Definitely never picked Thor before.
No, he's bigger.
And you weren't right now.
That might be the worst Bubs recap, and I love him every year.
Just
That
because his
might
shirt
be
is
the
on.
worst.
I still can't believe we didn't pick Nick's last.
He was headed there, but
Amount of times
he
it-
totally rescued it, dude.
By what? But the Michael Floyd pick or the Michael Bush
No,
pick?
Miller.
Golden Tate?
Miller and Bernard are what rescued him. It was
What?
obviously looking really bad.
2 backups?
But they're not backups. I mean, that's a starter. That guy will be the starter very soon.
These guys are good for 50 yards a game.
Fully local season tomorrow.
There's just a ton of potential in Eagles squad.
And that squad is garbage.
Projecting things is not about just
Bubs lost
cloning
touch.
past performance.
If you think Kaepernick is a
15.
fantasy high quarterback,
Yeah, did you watch any of the playoff games?
yeah, 2 games. Wait till he gets locked up and gets snagged by
2 games and then the Super Bowl.
Put me on the drive.
I don't like Bubs at all. I think Hart's decent.
He's also got the best offensive coach in football.
I agree with that.
Billy's I like.
Look at Michael Vick.
Nothing leaps out at me.
Yeah.
No, it's
This is probably the first year that nothing.
He's going to throw for like 170.
how do you